We're hearing that Attorney General nominee, former Congressman Matt Gaetz, has withdrawn his nomination for Attorney General.
Okay, people, look, hold on to your socks. This is about to get good. Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz just won his re-election for his seat in Florida, but he resigned the seat just a few weeks ago because he was nominated to become Donald Trump's Attorney General. Now, there's been talk about Matt Gaetz having underage, with women, and there was an investigation with the Justice Department and with the House Ethics Committee. The DOJ didn't really want to prosecute because they really couldn't trust the women that were testifying under oath, but the House Ethics Committee kept their ethics investigation going, and they found a lot more stuff. And there was rumors when Kevin McCarthy was Speaker that to negotiate his terms of being Speaker, well, one of the negotiations was that Matt Gaetz went to Kevin McCarthy and said, hey, I'll get my guys to back you if you can get rid of this ethics complaint. Kevin McCarthy would not agree to it, or maybe he did just to lie so he can become Speaker. And he was out as Speaker about 9 months later. Here's Kevin McCarthy's reason as to why he thinks he got removed as Speaker.
And I'll give you the truth why I'm not Speaker. It's because one person, a member of Congress, wanted me to stop an ethics complaint because he slept with a 17-year-old. An ethics complaint that started before I ever became Speaker, and that's illegal, and I'm not going to get in the middle. Did he do it or not? I don't know. But ethics is looking at it. There's other people in jail because of it. And he wanted me to influence it.
And Kevin McCarthy knows that, like he said, it's illegal for him as Speaker to get involved in a House ethics complaint. And he's also right that Joel Greenberg, one of Matt Gaetz's friends who was involved in this, with underage girls, is already in jail serving his sentence for what he did with underage girls. So yeah, the Speaker cannot get involved in this kind of investigation. You're putting your hands inside of an investigation that's wrong and is politically damaging for you to help another person that's being charged with ethics violations. Speaker Mike Johnson know that. And I did a report on it a couple of days ago.
Wednesday, you said this about the House Ethics Committee's investigation.
The Speaker of the House is not involved in that, can't be involved in that, so I'm not really the person probably to answer that question.
But on Friday, you did want something to do with it. You said the House Ethics Committee report should not be released.
Now, Mike Johnson is not dumb. He can double speak. He can say, release it, but then, in my opinion, they shouldn't release it because him being Speaker, he got power over those Ethics Committee members. So he's double speaking, but he knows what he's doing. Now, as for the House Ethics Committee, there are 10 people on this committee. Most of them are just junior congressmen and women. They're on their first term or whatever. They don't have a lot of power, so they throw them on this committee. Nobody really wants to be on the committee because you're kind of ratting on your own people, but you're on the low end of the totem pole, so you get this post. There are 4 members that are Republicans, with this guy being the ranking member, meaning he's the senior most Republican out of those 5 people. And there are 4 Democrats, with this lady making it 5. She's the chairperson of that committee, meaning she's the ranking member of everybody, and she's in control of the committee. Now, there's a reason why it's 5 on 5, because if it's 5 on 5, they can't agree, nothing gets released. Somebody got to flip in order for something to get released. Democrats want to vote yes to release it because it's going to hurt the Republicans, especially Matt Gaetz, because nobody likes him in the House. The Republicans don't want to vote yes to release it because it's a fellow Republican. At the same time, he's damaging the Republican image. And if you don't release it, you're protecting him doing what he did with underage children. And the third part, mainly for the Republicans, you want to give your Republican incoming president all his cabinet picks. Donald Trump don't want to lose his cabinet pick. It would be embarrassing for the incoming president to nominate someone and get that person withdrawn before they even get a chance to speak in front of the whole committee. You don't want to embarrass Trump, so you got to give it to him. But if you give it to him by not releasing this report, then you're backing SA. Oh, that's why this is good. So the 10 people on the ethics committee went in to vote to release or not release the document. And apparently it came out 5-5, but they agreed not to talk about it in front of the press, but they was going to have another vote December 2nd when the whole investigation was complete. And then they can vote again on whether or not to release it. And it was going to be probable that they were going to release it. However, the ranking Republican member couldn't keep his mouth shut.
The meeting was in secret. The Republican chair then told reporters some of the details, and that apparently breaches the protocol where the process is supposed to be fully confidential until and unless these written materials about Gaetz are themselves released.
All they were supposed to do was vote to release or vote not to release and shut up. If they vote to release, then it just get released. Nobody talk to the press. If it don't get released, it don't get released, and nobody talks to the press. But again, the Republican ranking member could not keep his mouth shut.
There has been no agreement to release the report.
Vote against the release?
I did.
Okay, can you explain why?
Because the committee no longer has jurisdiction over this.
Now, he thought he can go to an old Mike Johnson talking point of, because Matt Gaetz resigned, they have no jurisdiction. But still, like I said in the last report that I did, they can release a report even after a member resigns from Congress. There's precedent. And again, because he couldn't keep his mouth shut, this forced the Democrat ranking chairperson to come out and make a statement to give more clarity.
I'm not going to discuss what had transpired at the meeting, but it has come to my attention that the chairman has since betrayed the process by disclosing our deliberations within moments after walking out of the committee.
So now everybody want to know what's in this report. They're going to put pressure on the ethics committee, and then you got the lawyer of the two girls out doing interview after interview after interview, telling everybody what they testified to in those closed hearings.
What did your client witness at this party?
She was walking outside to the pool, and she observed to her right her friend, who was 17 at the time, having sex with Representative Gaetz.
Did your client believe that Gaetz at the time knew that her friend was underage?
Yeah, so the House was curious about that. She testified that her belief was that Representative Gaetz had no knowledge that she was under 18, that she was 17 years old at the time he was having sex with her. She also testified that when Representative Gaetz found out that she was underage, that they stopped their sexual relationship and did not resume it until after she turned 18.
Leopard says his clients, both the alleged witness and another woman, testified Gaetz paid them repeatedly for sex and drugs.
Now, for disclosure, this is all allegedly before Matt Gaetz got married, but you got Republicans who are family value people, sex, drugs, underage girls. This is crazy. But there's also a diagram showing that over a small amount of time, Matt Gaetz paid $10,000 to sleep with different women. They released this diagram showing all the money and where it went, Venmo, whatever. Now, you can't see the pictures, but if you go Google it, up at the top, you'll see Matt Gaetz' photo. And then right there in the middle, you'll see the other guy that's in jail right now. You'll see his picture. And then there's another guy that's over here. They haven't released his name yet. So, but all these payments, $1,800 here, Venmo, $300 there, $1,500 there, $2,000 there, and all the redacted names and photos, those are all the women that were involved. So it looks like there were about 3 men in all of these women. And Matt Gaetz paid $10,000 over the spread of all these women. Now, let me just say this. I don't care what you do in your private life. What you do in your private life is your business. And yet, at the same time, while I do admit that there's no perfect people out there, we do hold our representation to a slightly higher standard. However, I would rather Matt Gaetz go pay for it, or at least pay for the woman to leave, than for him to go out and commit SA. And if you're out there doing this stuff, Matt Gaetz, check for ID. Once he found out the girl was 17, he stopped with her until she turned 18. So he probably had her waiting at the house and counted down like New Year's and said, okay, 3, 2, 1, you 18, go get in the bedroom. This is, I'm stupid. And here's the last little bit of the news report that's just going to let you know that I guess with all this influx of information and words and speculation and rumors and stuff being flying out there, I guess Matt Gaetz had no choice.
But Dana, this comes about 45 minutes after we reached out to him about some new reporting that we have. And this new reporting is that there was a second sexual encounter between him and an underage woman at a party in 2017.
It is clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction. Thus, I'll be withdrawing my name from consideration to serve as Attorney General.
Now, I can pull out the 48 Laws of Power and show you all of what's going on in this book. That's why I love reading this book and watching politics. But now the big thing is, Matt Gaetz, you played dumb. You should have kept your seat while you went through this. That way, if there was anything coming down, you could have resigned that position and still kept your seat. Now the big question comes. Ron DeSantis in Florida, he said he's going to do a special election for his seat. So does Matt Gaetz run for his seat again to get it back? Or does he move out of Congress and just do something else with his life? Or does Trump have another job for him that don't require Senate confirmation? I don't know, like special prosecutor to go after some Democrats? What do you think?